What's happening, y'all? It's your boy Andre Romance, and I'm back with another one. Alright, now, these is a couple tips to avoid cancer. I know it's real big in our society, and like you can't go your whole life without meeting somebody that has ever had a family member that died from cancer, or somebody that's actually going through it as you speak to them. So this is just a couple tips to get us in the right direction so we can start bettering ourselves and prolonging our life if we do have cancer, and also for the ones that don't have it but have a history of it in our families, that we can avoid coming into that area where we end up with cancer. So what I have here, I'm gonna start off with the definition so we can be clear on exactly what cancer is. All right, so there's two types of categorized cancers. Okay, you have the physical cancer that's like within the physical body, and then you also have the ability of what's outside of the body, like interacting with people that could be cancerous to our well-being, depending on their energy. Okay, so this the first way that we have cancer is that it's an invasive growth or a tumor. This is something that happens within the body. So like it could be something like breast cancer, brain tumor, it can be leukemia. I mean, there's a huge list of things that you can have cancer in. Part 2 of the definition, it's any evil condition or thing that spreads destructively. So anything that's spreading destructively, anything that's destroying whatever it's coming in contact with, and that's what this cancer is. Okay, so my tip for how to avoid having physical cancer within the body is directed towards your dieting. Okay, how are you dieting? Are you eating plant-based, or are you eating man-made foods? Okay, so this is how we identify if a food is man-made or not. So we have these different types of fruits and vegetables, right? And through the times, like when I was a kid growing up, I would start to see these seedless watermelons, and like everybody was going crazy about, oh, seedless watermelons, because they didn't have to worry about chewing the seeds. You know, they could just go ahead and eat the watermelon. They wouldn't have to worry about the seeds. But it turns out this is a man-made, a man genetically modified fruit, and there's a lot of other fruits like it, you know, that are hindering our health. You know, they're causing us to end up with health issues that range from diabetes into cancer, which is the one we're talking about right now. But all of these man-made or genetically modified GMO foods are causing these cancers to happen within our bodies, because our bodies aren't able to break this stuff down as fast as it should. So it's continuing to it's taking on another form inside of the body, which is fat, and that fat is becoming tumors and cancer. Okay, so how cancer survives inside of the body is by sugar, and the way that it grows is on sugar. It only feeds on sugar. Now, one thing that it comes in competition with as far as utilizing the sugar in your body is the brain. Along with cancer, your brain operates on sugar, right? It uses this sugar to create energy, and that's how it functions. Now, if you cut off all sugar in the body, the brain will start to it will start to diminish. Like you will start to experience like headaches and migraines and things like that, dizziness, nausea. All of these side effects will start to happen when you start cutting out sugar. So this is how you counteract avoiding feeding sugars. There's different ways to do it. The number one way is by fasting. Okay, the number one way is by fasting. This is knowing how much to consume. This will help you avoid cancer and also to kill off cancer, because if there's no sugar for the cancer to feed on, the cancer dies off. This is what is done in the Christian religion. Without most of them don't even know what they're doing, but this is what is actually happening when they say they go to the doctor and the doctor sees something, and they go through this fasting and praying phase, and this fasting is what causes the breakdown of whatever's in the body, because like I said, if it's fat, and fat is a tumor, right? Tumor and a fat is the same thing. The body will start to break down the fat and use it as energy. So it starts to eat away at this cancer once you start fasting. Once you stop feeding the bad things in your body starts to break down those bad things in order to continue on with life. Sometimes we have to fast in order for our bodies to process the foods that we have already eaten. And I know it's like these genetically modified foods are fillers, right? Fast food restaurants, they do this all the time. They make you feel full, but in naturality, it's stopping the process of the breakdown of your food. Okay, so that's what you want to stand clear of. That's what this fast food is doing to us. Okay, and that's causing these tumors to happen. That's causing if you have colon cancer, you have problems with your bladder, problems with your kidneys. This goes into eating food that has these fillers in it. Glucose is the sugar, right? And your body needs glucose. Now, what's cool about your body is that it can use fat and convert it into glucose and use that for your brain energy. This plays a big part in how keto dieting works. When you go on a keto diet, you cut out all the sugars, and so your body starts to get its energy from the fats that's built up in the body. Okay, so that's how the keto diet works. My advice is to stay closer to eating the natural fruits and vegetables. Okay, you have to get your greens, you have to eat your fruits. Okay, and if you can find a farmer's market, not like a Whole Foods or nothing like that, find a farmer's market that you're able to get like natural fruit, like fresh fruit. It is fresh. It hasn't been frozen, it hasn't been coated with some wax or anything like that. It comes straight from somebody's farm. You want to pay attention to these type of fruits, and you will recognize the fruits by how big they are. If they're like super huge in size, chances are they're genetically modified food. With the fats, you want to look at your labeling with fats. You want to stay away from saturated fats. Okay, saturated fats is like, it's an added fat to a food that doesn't normally have this type of fat, and you want to stay away from that, because these fats come from everything. They come from the animals. Okay, and if you're a vegetarian or vegan, added fats is like, it's going against everything that you believe in. You're adding something that's from an animal that you chose to get, not consume anymore. So when you're eating trans fats, you're actually eating parts of an animal. Okay, so you want to stand clear of that. Also, I know we are big, as in my culture, we are big on frying foods and using fat to cook our foods. We need to start looking at how we are cooking our foods as well, because the ways that we are cooking our food is adding this fat that we cannot break down in our systems too. Okay, now we're moving into another one. Another thing to look out for is dairy. We need to start cutting out dairy. So pasteurized milk, any type of milk that has been filtered by a company or something like that, by any type of machinery, it's not safe for us to have. Okay, it's not safe for us to drink. Now, if you have a cow, like you have a real physical cow in your backyard somewhere, and you're able to milk that and get the milk from it, that's safe to have. Okay, that's very safe milk. Also goat's milk, very safe milk. But if you are utilizing like milk that has added vitamins, and if you're drinking orange juice that has calcium inside of it, these are things that you need to start looking at. These are man-made ingredients that are put inside of this stuff, and it does play a huge part on how diseases attack your body. Stay away from the lactose. Lactose is not good. The milk that we are giving our kids, it should be from the female, because it's the most natural fat for humans. Okay, now it's not a bad thing to have milk from the cows and stuff like that, like I said before, but once you start drinking pasteurized milk and all the things that have been filtered, from a machine, it's no longer good. It's not healthy for us to consume. At this point, it's all filler based, and it's tricking our bodies to not break it down, and these fats are just sitting inside of our colon and creating issues for us. That's what I encourage you all to get to that level where you are taking full responsibility of your health and how you go about your life. All right, I love y'all. I want to see y'all on top, man. Y'all keep me up. I'm gonna keep y'all up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go and support that channel so that more people can get a hold of these videos. youtube.com/Andre R. Vaughn. I see y'all over there. Subscribe, support your boy, and we up out of this thing.